I was just patient, never try skating. Fuck niggas hating.
The major key to remember here is that at some point in time, both good women or people and bad women or people can look and appear exactly alike. What are you talking about, Jerome? Sometimes a good person can have a bad day, which causes you to doubt their purity or their goodwill or their righteousness or whatever. And you think to yourself, I gave that person more credit than they deserve. And then sometimes a bad person can do something good, do a good deed that will make you think to yourself, maybe I was going too hard on her. Maybe she's not as bad as I thought. It's key to remember that or note that at some point in time, as good and bad cross paths, because we have to coexist in this world together, they can appear to be equally alike. And this is how the enemy is able to fool us and how he's able to trick us, because you don't know right from wrong, or you don't know up from down, or you don't know the intentions behind someone in order to, predetermine the outcome or what you're going to expect. Some people, they do show you signs in the early beginning stages of meeting them that are direct red flags. And sometimes you can have a direct red flag in the beginning of meeting somebody that over time you realize you prejudged, and that it was just something that didn't look right, or it seemed off, but it really was you over psychoanalyzing something because of a condition that you have that is based on your self-preservation, of course, but you'd like to avoid future toxic, unhealthy situationships. So you have a guard that's way up and nothing can get through, not even anything good. It implies that somebody would have to be a perfect individual in order for you to entertain them. This is unhealthy, it's unrealistic. This video, I'm going to help create a little bit of balance with that. But the topic is about women who use or view or study men's online dating advice videos in order to soak up game, which that's initially not a bad thing. But this woman may have good intentions. She may want to know what she's up against and what she needs to work on. Sounds nice. But she may also be a master manipulator and looking for a way in, a way around, a way to infiltrate you, manipulate you, use you, get what her intentions might not be pure at all, but she studies men's online dating content. Okay, so I'm gonna help you see something. Keep in mind and keep note to the fact that sometimes both good and bad, can appear to be equal, and they can appear to be exactly the same at some point in time. Not the whole time, but as they cross paths, when a good person makes a mistake or when a bad person does something good, they can appear to be the same thing. Okay? Only one thing differentiates good from bad. You want to know what that is? The outcome. The outcome is what differentiates the difference between things that look the same, even if the intentions or the base is righteous, justified, pure, or ill-intended. Okay? When those things look the same, the only thing that differentiates them is the overall outcome of your situation, your involvement, whatever it may be. So at the end of the day, when somebody has shown you to be a liar, a cheater, abuser, a user, a deceiver, when that is the outcome, now you finally know, after however long it took, what you were dealing with. If something turns out to be something that improves your life, that you're able to sustain, that's healthy, that's for your betterment, that is transparent, that you can see through, that you don't have any worries and concerns. Even in the very beginning, if there were those red flags I mentioned earlier that made things look like they weren't right, but the outcome is you're better now. The outcome is you're healed. The outcome is you're happier. The outcome is this is something that is sustainable. The outcome of that situation has just differentiated and separated the two entities. So good and bad, they may look alike when you're involved, but the difference, what makes them different, what differentiates them, is the outcome. So a woman who is watching content like mine or other men online who give advice to men, who is a master manipulator. First off, I want to say this is love bombing 3.0. If you don't know what love bombing is, I do have a video on my channel about love bombing. You might have to scroll a little bit, but type it in on YouTube. Very popular. Okay, so I said 3.0 instead of 2.0 because this woman has the edge. She has a leg up. She's watching us and she's like, I see what they're looking for. Ill intentions all the way. But she is thinking to herself, what do men want? And she wants to know that answer. She's not going through life and just having experiences. She's listening to content like this and she doesn't even need to experience it. We're telling her. We're inadvertently telling her how to manipulate us. We're indirectly telling her what it is we look for and what we desire out of a woman. And she says, okay. Because she still has something that she wants to extract out of us, but it's not working for her the way she's been doing it. So in order to sharpen her skills, she'll log on to YouTube or some podcast and she'll just receive and soak up all of the game she possibly can to be able to use it. And let me say one more thing before I get started. This video, I woke up this morning and I had a perception of my last relationship. I've dated after that, but relationship wise, the last relationship I was in, this video articulates that. So anybody that's going to jump in the comments and say that's not what we do, I've experienced it. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've experienced it, and I am a very inquisitive. I am a very, intelligent person, and I definitely am very observant as well. So even if I don't understand what's going on right then and there, I will be like, what's this? And then my determination to figure it out. It could take, I've been single and broken up from that person for over a year. And this is still playing in my mind as far as, dang, how did she do that? And it dawned on me. Everything I'm about to share with you is what she actually did to me. And I might share a little bit of personal experiences with this person, but I don't really care to give her any kind of shine. She's out of my life and I don't have any desires to miss her or want to be with her ever again. But it's very important that I make it clear that I'm being transparent here and that this is based on my own experiences. I didn't read this. I didn't study this. I went through it. So you can't deny me my truth. That's only strictly for people who like to troll and jump in comments and try to contradict my content. It never works, but they do it anyway. So number one thing, okay, that you'll see from a woman who studies men's dating, online dating advice videos and stuff like that in order to use it against men and to manipulate men. And let me be clear that all women don't watch our content to do this, but women who do, this is what you'll see. Number one, they know to be soft upon introduction. Okay? A woman being soft with you up front gives you the illusion that she's submissive, nurturing, compassionate, patient, feminine, agreeable, giving, respectful, kind, and that she knows how to bring you peace. Keep note to some of these words here, y'all. We hear it all day online. Okay? We're dealing with men and online advice videos. We use the same words. Men, we're very basic. We're very simple. It's almost appalling how women just cannot figure this out and don't know how to just play. If she actually desired a man, then she know how to exist or cohabitate with the man, because we're so easy to figure out. Okay? But let me put a little disclaimer on there. Not all men have good intentions either. So we're not going to exempt them. They're included. Okay? So knowing to be soft upon introduction, it grabs our attention. Not only does it grab our attention, it lowers our guard. Not only does it lower our guard and grab our attention, it intrigues us and it makes us want to pursue. Because we're like, okay, this is what I'm looking for. She's not some woman who acts tough and dominant up front. No real man who's heterosexual and monogamous wants a woman who's dominant and controlling, manipulative. We definitely don't want to see none of this up front. So, and I'm not even implying that every woman who is soft has studied men's online content. But what I'm expressing to you is that based on my experiences, a woman who studies men's dating content in order to use it to manipulate a man, number one, knows to be soft upon introduction for the reasons listed below. Number two, she uses words men are readily intrigued with or by. Let me explain. Traditional. She'll say things like, I'm a traditional woman. Peace. I'm a peaceful woman. Same words, because men were simple. Okay. Submissive. I could be submissive. I'm a submissive woman. Soft. Feminine. I just said these same words. One thing that's key in this one right here is that she uses the word yes to a man. She says yes. And what I'm trying to articulate right here by using the word yes is that this is a direct response to you. Both men and women like hearing the word yes, but a woman who knows how to say directly to a man in response to something that he asks her or requests of her or desires from her, if she says the word yes in response to you, she had just gained access to you. Am I lying? If I don't know what I'm talking about, leave it in the comments. A woman saying the word yes to you is going to lower your defenses because you're like, okay, try it. Ask a woman anything, whether it be sexual, whether it be professional, whatever it is. If a woman knows how to say, yes, this is fully submissive. This is someone it's extremely agreeable. Just simply yes, not I think so, nothing indirect, just saying yes. Okay? She uses words that intrigue men like yes. Okay? Terms of endearment. Daddy, baby, honey, love, sweetie, sweetheart, handsome. Okay? Like I said before, not every woman who talks like this is someone who watches men's online dating advice. And not every woman who watches online dating advice for men use it to manipulate them. But most commonly, when a woman has studied online dating advice for men in order to use it against him, these are terms or words or that you're going to hear her use that intrigue men. This triggers his senses. Number 3, women who study men's online dating content in order to use it to manipulate him, they offer to pay for dates. They offer to pay for dates, probably even the first date. Absolutely. Check out what's happening here. Gifts. They're open to going half. They contribute instead of making it obvious that she is intending to use you. This is typically the good old bait and switch trick. You have to understand this, okay? When it comes to the bait and switch trick, first of all, this is a game that men started, okay? Most of the games that these manipulative women are playing are games that men started first. And that's just me being fair. If we go back in time, we started this gangster shit. And now this is the mother thanks we get. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that the bait and switch game is very important that you understand that, because modern women, they use this religiously, and it's so right in your face. What they'll do, you'll hear modern women say things that they do for men or they have done for an ex in order to get you in a headspace to where you want to do it for them. So a woman who wants you to trick, I'm not making this up. A woman who wants you to trick, and what I mean by trick, I know most of you guys already know what it means, but trick is to pay to play. Okay, you paying for everything. A woman who wants you to pay to play is going to a modern woman. When using the baiting switch trick, is going to imply that she's a trick. She's the giver. She invests in her man. She's going to tell you stories about how she did it for a previous ex. And what this does is psychological. That's why it's a master manipulative tactic. It lowers your defenses. It makes you think that she doesn't have the intentions or the ability to be a user. She's a giver. Givers don't use people, right? And then it makes you want to give, which is already something that's instinctively you as a man. But her implying that she's the trick. I took my ex on trips. I take men on trips. I pay for dates. I do all this stuff. I pay bills. Then you're like, okay. You try to do what? Match her energy. And what happens is, during the bait and switch trick, you match her energy, and then her energy fades, and you're still doing it. She acted like she was going to do that for you, and you said, okay, two can play this game. Y'all met in the middle, and then it shifted in her favor. That's what I mean by bait and switch. This is an experience of mine. When I broke up with my ex, one of my friends who still followed her, he called me. He said, she put on her profile, when you're dating me, I'm the trick. But this is a woman who tried to use me. She was, and this was within like 2 days of me dumping her. She was already looking for a replacement. And she was already feeding that bait out there. Because she's looking for a trick. You know what I'm saying? But this woman has studied online dating content for men and knew what to tell me in order to appear to be what I was looking for. This is love bombing 3.0 because it worked. I was like, okay. She was everything that I thought I wanted, to find out that she was nothing that I knew I wanted. She was nothing. She's out of there. Number 4, she lies. This is a pathological liar here. Now, I'm pretty sure you know what it means, but a regular lie is an impulsive thing. It's something that you do probably to avoid accountability, or to avoid a consequence or to avoid hurting somebody's feelings. So you told a lie. But then a pathological liar is somebody who lies simply for entertainment. There's not even a consequence to face by telling the truth. They're talking to somebody who doesn't judge people, but lying because they're afraid to be judged. There's no consequence for telling me who you really are under those circumstances. But I'm going to lie to you anyway because it's entertaining. And also, in addition to lying being entertaining to a pathological liar, it also gives them a sense of, it's not just superiority, but intellect. They feel smarter because you bought their story. I'm a good storyteller. He bought that. Lame. Okay, they lie for those. It's a different intent behind somebody who's just a lie, who tells a lie, and someone who's a pathological liar. Had to break that down in case there's anybody out there who didn't. They heard that phrase, but they didn't really know what that means. Pathological liars just lie for entertainment, and it's just entertainment. It's still a lie, but you might think to yourself, like, I have a relative who is a pathological liar, and this person, no reason at all, will lie to a stranger and tell them that, without exposing this person, would just say things that are completely fabricated. I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay. But when it comes to dealing with a pathological liar, they lie to uphold images, okay, and uphold an image or a persona or a facade of their character, who they are, right? And so, and for entertainment purposes. So they want to be perceived as someone who has a low body count. I took it right back to online dating content for men. She wants to be perceived as someone who has a low body count. Ain't that all the men talk about? Somebody who isn't easy, isn't a slut, a prosty, just a freak. And, you know what I'm saying? She wants to be perceived as somebody who was raised by her father. She's probably going to tell you, my dad raised me. I'm a daddy's girl. Dig a little bit deeper into it, and you start hearing her use words to insult her dad and discuss how he's not in her life and shortchange him on the credibility. And like I said, this doesn't apply to all women. So no need to jump on what I just said and that ain't true. If it doesn't apply to you, no need to respond, right? No need to get triggered. I'm not talking about you. She's going to appear to be someone who's independent. Why would she want to be independent? She doesn't need help. She's not desperate. She's not walking around trying to use every man. And overall, she wants to appear to be wifey material. So overall, she's going to lie to act like, this is who she is, in order to, keep up that facade. And also another thing that she might lie to hold up the image of is her being an intellectual woman. Again, this lowers your defenses. An intellectual woman with a high IQ, somebody who's smart, they are somebody that you can have, stimulating conversations with and involvements with. But you'll later see that her conversations and her banter is pretty much the same as every other modern woman. Basic. She wants to show you her nails. She's talking about the value of her weave, or how the woman cut her hair and did her hair. Things men we just generally find no value in, because who cares about fake nails other than women? It's not like we don't like women and we don't think that they look attractive, but we damn sure don't want to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? So intellectual property or value being higher than that, you see that a woman who is trying to use big words and all this stuff where she's talking to you and she has a nice vocabulary, and the way she carries herself is a very intellectual or well-written woman who reads and studies, who's in school, but she isn't intellectually stimulating at all. But this is a facade she needs to uphold because she knows that men need that and desire that. And she has studied and found it out by watching men's online dating content. Number 5. Lastly, she tries to set herself aside from other women. Okay, so she wants to stand out. Okay, and there's ways that she can go about doing this, especially when you watch online content for men, right? And we talk about women that we don't like, we don't desire, we don't want, right? So she wants to pretend to take accountability. Don't we talk about that, fellas? She wants to pretend to take constructive criticism. Don't we get into a state when you are dating a woman and you are an assertive man where you have to address red flags and you tell her that right there is not going to work. You shouldn't do it like this. A man is going to do that. A leader is going to do that. It doesn't matter if he's dating you or not. A man who is a leader is going to critique. A man who is a leader is going to make adjustments and have the say so or be the authority figure. She's going to pretend to accept your constructive criticism. She's going to pretend not to be argumentative. Watch what happens after this. She's going to also become passive aggressive because she wants to appear to be not argumentative. So she's going to urge and be frustrated and ready to give you all she got. But she's going to hold back and she's going to talk bad about you in her head and on the phone with her friends about you. She's going to build resentment. She's going to start being passive aggressive in terms of giving the silent treatment and distancing herself until it's something that she just can't hold up anymore that she needs from you. Then she comes back around, babe. But until she gets to that point, she's like annoyed with you. She's okay with not talking to you. Okay? She's going to pretend to love to cook for you. Come on, man. Stick with me on this one. She might love to cook. But a woman who has studied online content for men, she's going to pretend to love to cook for you. And you can tell when a woman is faking to love to cook because she doesn't know how to. So when she cooks, you're like, this isn't good. Somebody who loves how to cook, they cook all the time. Someone who cooks all the time, practice makes perfect, even though no one's perfect. But she's done it so many times. She has a specialty dish she likes to make. She dipping her finger in the sauce, making sure it's right before she provides it to you. When you taste a woman's food and it ain't good, yeah, of course, it's pretty much going to be based on your own perception because it could be good. You just don't like, I don't know, pepper, or onions or whatever the case may be. But when you taste food that a woman's pretending to love to cook for you and it isn't good, well, this woman doesn't love to cook, but she thinks, okay, I'm going to cook for him because that's what men like according to online content. Okay. Lastly, she will pretend to want more kids. Ooh, personal experience. I have kids. I date women with kids because I have kids. If I didn't, then I can uphold that standard of not dating women with kids. I do know men who have kids that don't date women with kids. I don't relate to that, but I've heard it before. But my thing is, a woman wanting kids or pretending to like your kids or you're fake loving your kids, fake liking your kids, or pretending to want more kids. She might even fake a pregnancy on you. Okay, this is because of, again, online content for men, where we're always talking about a woman taking care of the kids in the household and her being the table and all of this gibberish. Okay, so, I have to date kids. Kids are part of the equation. Oh, men's body counts are higher than women. So more than likely a man is going to have kids even if she doesn't have any. So she has to pretend to like kids. She has to pretend to be okay with your kids. She has to pretend that she wants kids. Now, there's going to be women who actually do like kids, who have kids, who want kids. So again, put your Twitter fingers up. You don't have to, that's not, I know what I'm talking about. This is my personal experience. Okay. A woman faked the pregnancy. My ex faked the pregnancy on me because it dawned on me that she was trying to be everything that she thought I wanted in order to extract monetary gain, get her bills paid. She said she was independent. And I was like, okay, let me bring this to the forefront. Let me expose this like I do everything else. And help men become more aware of the fact that women are absolutely studying online dating content for men. But not all of them are using it to manipulate. But please be aware. Be advised. Warning. Okay? Be advised. And like I said, the only thing that would differentiate or determine the difference between a woman who has good intentions or bad intentions is the outcome. How did that situation end up? Did you end up having to leave her because you just couldn't take it no more? Or did at the end of the relationship, did you find yourself in a long-standing, sustainable, non-toxic, healthy relationship? That just told you right there what was the intention of that person, the way it ended. So how do you predetermine? Well, you can't do that because there's going to be situations that a good person looks bad and the bad person appears good. And if you try to predetermine that, it's not possible. That means you would be some kind of psychic and you'd be able to dodge everything that came your way. That will minimize your life experiences. And it's just not life. It's not reality. Okay. But if you do like this video, if it resonates with you, or if you found it helpful in any kind of way, please give me a like, comment, and or subscribe. But if you are new to my channel, my name is Jerome, and this has been another episode of The Superb Word. Until next time, 2 fingers. All right.